This RSBANDB Update Nibble originally aired on RSBANDB Update 735, the Blockbuster Bank Beta. Enjoy. You'll recall here that this bank rework beta initially started as a drive to get placeholders into game. And we got significantly more than placeholders with this. So, I want to just start off by noting how big the bank can be. And you'll note that if anybody is watching this on video, you can literally extend the bank to be as big as your game window, if you so desire. Which is something I can imagine players are going to be doing.
Woo!
So there's that. There's also a revamped flow on the right-hand side that shows whether you'll be withdrawing to your equipment, your worn equipment, or your Beast of Burden. You'll be able to see them all up at a glance if you have the bank window large enough. And this is something we really didn't appreciate before when we were looking at the live streams of it, because it wasn't really that large. But if you make your bank window large, you'll be able to see your inventory, your worn equipment, and your Beast of Burden slots all at the same time. So that's point number one. Now, point number two that I want to drive home with this is that, yeah, as expected, we got new tabs, and you can actually customize the icons of all the tabs, so much so that you can choose any of the skills that are there, the quest icon, the overall icon, a stack of GP, and a clue scroll for the icons.
You found something I didn't even find. That.
Yeah, you right-click customize on a tab, and that happens.
Oh, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
See, and I didn't even find that. That's awesome.
Yeah. And if you right-click on the first tab of the bank rework, the tab with the infinity sign, you can toggle tab position to toggle tabs between the left and the right. Or, the top and the left.
Oh, that's cool, too.
Now, let's talk about what everybody has been, of course, most hoping for with this. And that is the placeholder system. So if you look,
it's all about.
If you look down at the bottom near where it says transfer, there's a button that right now is a cake, which I assume is going to change away from a cake, because what this does is that when you withdraw an item, any item at all, it makes it so that it remains in your bank with a stack of 0 and it's slightly shaded out. And this works for practically anything. And this is what people have wanted since day one of the bank rework. And I think we can, effectively go on record and say this is what the bank rework was to many people. Placeholders.
Okay. That's one of the issues I had with the beta. So do you need to click on that cake for it so that if you withdraw, it will automatically leave a placeholder?
Correct.
Okay, because when I was taking items out, it wasn't leaving a placeholder unless I right clicked and said leave a placeholder. But yet when I would do it with presets, it would automatically do it. So I thought that was I didn't realize that I had to click the cake.
Yeah, the cake will do it automatically, and if you don't have the cake selected, you can right click and say withdraw placeholder, and it will withdraw everything minus the placeholder.
Boy, it's almost like we could have used a little, some little text bubbles or something to explain some of these new features.
Well, if you hover over the cake icon, it says, when withdrawing all items from a bank, leave a count of 0 behind to retain the position in the bank. So there's a hover text on that one. Another thing that happens that people might not be aware of is that if you don't have the placeholder mode active and you withdraw an item, it's left with a dash, and this is a so-called empty slot.
I like that too, actually.
And the idea behind this is that you can just withdraw items, and then when you would put your items back in place, they'll go into that first empty slot that's available, rather than just being, at the top row of the first tab. Now, I also just want to say that, yes, this is a beta, and I haven't heard anything about any items being lost or anything to that effect, but the user interface that we see here, of course, is still subject to change. So if anybody has any issues with this, definitely contact Jagex, let them know in a sane, civil manner.
I'm glad that I waited because my only issue was just cleared up with some cake, like most things in life, and I don't have any issues now. None.
Well, there you
I'm
go.
really happy with it. Yeah.
And there's one more thing. Do you know what that is? Something amazing. Something that players...
Dynamic searching?
No, unfortunately not. We don't have that.
Okay.
If you have an Amulet of Glory, for example, or a Ring of Slayer, or a potion in a preset, and you withdraw that preset and you no longer have your X stack of that potion in your bank, or that ring, or that piece of jewelry, the bank will just withdraw the item that is nearest to that. So you always have something similar withdrawn. And this is a godsend for farming runs with the Juju farming potions.